We are live Friday night with the dude, El Duderino. We got Lee from Smoking Bears. Mike, Keto Mike will be back in a minute. I'm Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook. Okay. And here's what we got. Where are we at right now, dude? I mean, he's among the missing, but here he is somewhere. It doesn't look like his studio. But
We are live from Salt Lake City, Utah, Sugarhouse Barbecue Company.
Woo.
These people have always treated me well in the last 11 months I've been coming here. They've always been nice to me. I've done a couple of videos from here, and just absolutely wonderful people. But before we get to that, I want to say hi to Brian. I want to say hi to Bat and hi to Grumpus. Welcome, everybody.
First
Who
one's
else
in.
do we have on here before I can tell you a little bit about what they're going to do to us? So, who else do we have? We have that guy right over there.
We got this guy right
With the
here.
beard.
We got this guy's up here. Lee, how you doing?
I didn't do it.
I love the hat, by the way.
Thank you. My buddy asked me, he said, man, is that a new hat? And I said, dude, it's almost as old as you are.
I have a
He's like,
Margaritaville
really? I
hat.
said, it got cold today. It was 54 degrees out right now. And it was a low of 30.
Man,
So once the sun went down, my head got cold, and I didn't want to wear a toboggan yet.
Yeah,
out in Vegas, it was 82 today, and that's like a a cold front coming through. So yeah, unbelievable. So
we got a good crowd here. So
yeah,
thank you everybody for stopping by.
Wow.
Well, I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on.
Howdy, everybody.
Let me get dude back up in here again.
So I ordered what's called the Big Bill Special or Big Bill Combo. And speak of the devil, my friend right there, I want to show you guys right there. Before we go too far into this, no, I'm not going to eat this all. There's going to be some going home. But when I ordered this, dude, I don't know what. No, that's jambalaya.
Oh.
Yeah. And
I'm leaning in like I can smell it.
yeah. I can't. Yeah. Well, I'll smell for you, Lee. So anyhow, I have no idea what they put on here because I just said I want the Big Bill combo. You surprised me. And the reason why I did that is I didn't want to I've had their food many a time, and I didn't want to go and say, hey, I've had this, let's try it. Hey, Bud Files, how are you? Welcome. So I asked them to just surprise me, and that's what they did. And I'm telling you, the aroma is absolutely freaking amazing. You mean the Big Grumpus Special?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yes. So I'm thinking this is jambalaya, and I want to try it first.
Okay.
If you don't mind, folks.
No.
Yeah. I got this real cool feature going on here. Watch. Oh, yeah, it is. It's jambalaya. Go like this.
Oh.
Go. Look at that. Look how.
Man, let me bring you back to.
It's just like, you don't. Yeah. It's smooth. Oh, so freaking good. Already good. That's amazing. And I think it's a jambalaya. It could be gumbo, but I'm thinking it's jambalaya. Let's take a look at this. I think this might be bread pudding. This is really not a keto thing, but it looks bread pudding-ish to me. No, it's stuffing. Some kind of stuffing. That's really good. I think they did that because we got some turkey down below. And they do all their stuff outside. It's really cool. They invited me back before the show. And yeah. Actually, that's chicken. But stuffing and chicken go well together. You know, it pays to get to know people in this world. I'm telling you. Oh, Tom's Food Factory.
There he is.
Okay, jambalaya. Gumbo's more like a soup. Appreciate it.
Yeah. That's what it's so similar.
Mike from Tri-Tip Junkie. So
Howdy,
far,
howdy.
everything is amazing. So I want to try this, and I'm not even sure what this is.
Looks like some sort of slaw, like a cucumber slaw.
Yeah, and it smells like it.
vinegary.
You know what it is? My grandma used to make pickled onions with vinegar and things like that. And that's what that is. It's just they added some cukes to it. It looks like some red peppers. Very good. Grumpus. All right. So they do have these delicious corn muffins. Had them before. Love them. These guys are amazing. If you're ever in the Salt Lake City area, make sure you stop by this place. They are hardworking folks, which I love. You know me, always into the hardworking folks. Try it. Simon's in the house. Welcome. Very good. All right, so if I seem just a little bit distracted, they're taking pictures and videos for their Facebook as well. So we got some ribs. Now, one of the things that I love about this place, and I'll be back, Thursday nights, they have competition ribs. So these guys like to do a lot of competitions. And so they will go and serve their competition style ribs to people. I think it's time to try this. Ooh. Very good. I'm sorry, but good barbecue does not need sauce. And I hope you all agree with me. Sauce, I find that people jump sauce on there. I shy away from places that they just dump the sauce on before that they deliver it to you. There's a reason why they dump that sauce on, in my opinion. But I gotta tell you, that rib's dynamite. Oh man, dynamite. And the guy Jeff, he remembered me from the first time I was here. They do their own smoked chicken wings, and I'll tell you what, their smoked chicken wings are fantastic, in my opinion. So I'm gonna try it. TCG. Hey, God, we got a lot of people coming in. I love it. Thank you. All right, let's try this chicken wing. I mean, that leg is pretty decent size. Yes. And I gotta be honest with you, one of the things I love about chicken wings too is if you can taste the smoke. So, what else do we got in here? We got all sorts of little good. Oh snap! Yes, sir, Bob. One of my favorites. One of my favorites. I love sausage. Let's try this sausage out. Mr. Tom, I want to show my beautiful mug again. There we go. Sausage, sausage. Very good. Here's my beautiful wife. Hi, Mrs. Dude. Very good. Almost a sage flavor to it. Got a great amount of spice and rubs to it. Got a little heat to it. Love it. A little sweet too. All right, let's look at their sauces now. I have to respect a place that has pork and a vinegar-based barbecue sauce or dipping sauce, and that's exactly what this is. Now, I found a long time ago, shake it up first. Let's try it on some, make sure there's no other goodies. Ooh, and we got more goodies. Look at that. Oh, we got to stop. We got to stop. What do you think about that? Smoke ring and all. Heck yeah. We got the brisket going on. Really get that smoke flavor out of that. That's good brisket. That is. It's a shame to have to even try it with the sauces, but I want to try the pork, the ribs with. I think ribs and vinegar go to well together. Any kind of pork product. So I want to try this barbecue sauce or dipping sauce, whatever you want to call it. I want to try it on it. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. definitely recommend that vinegar-based sauce that they have. Now, another cool thing, I love a place who has a South Carolina style mustard. Smells absolutely amazing. I really get some of that vinegar out of it. Lots of other flavors, a lot of depth. So what are we going to try it on? We're going to try it on some chicken. No, we're not. We're going to try it right here. You know how it is with sauces. A little bit goes a long ways. Just a wee bit on there. I almost got too much on there, but damn, that's good. Very good. All right. This is their signature barbecue sauce. This stuff's the bomb. It's very similar to what you're going to get any other place. You know, it's similar. It's a good barbecue sauce. I do enjoy it. We're going to put it on to our brisket. And you know me, a little bit goes a long ways. Very good. Definitely get that brown sugar out of it. Got good flavor. I really want to go back to the jambalaya, though. I mean, see it? You guys saw it here. Sorry. There. It's got great mix to it. Looks great. Tastes even better. And the stuffing. The reason why I can tell it's stuffing is right there. I don't know if you can see that, if it came in or not. It's got a little bit of sage in it, and it's got celery. But it's good. But it's almost like a corn stuffing. Well, there you have it, guys. Absolutely amazing. And these, I mean, the onions, the vinegar onions, and I love the idea that they put red peppers into the mix as well. Good. Very good. All right, that is probably the fastest review I've done, but also the best review I've ever done. Sugarhouse Barbecue Company, Salt Lake City, Utah. It's a must-visit place. Tell them the dude sent you. They'll get a kick out of it. I highly, highly recommend this place. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. We've got Drunken Chef. I saw MBL in here.
Yep.
Cheers, folks. I'm having a Pacifico.
MBL.
Person tortoise waving. So that is, should we go for a little visit around the place and see what it kind of looks like?
Yeah,
What
I'm
do you
going to
think?
see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, how many sauces are on the table?
They have a total of 4, but one of them is like a Frank's Red Hot. So you do have that vinegar-based sauce, okay? Then which I love Frank's. Don't get me wrong, I love Frank's, but I chose not to put it on here. They've got the South Carolina style mustard, which is the bomb.
Now, is that like a real heavy mustard sauce? Like, can
Yes.
you taste the mustard, or
Yes,
is
you
it
can.
like a sweeter mustardy sauce?
I get the mustard out of it. I do. I don't really get the sweet out of it. There is a little bit, of course, because sweet and heat go together.
Right,
But
right.
It is. I get mustard out of it, definitely. And then they have their sauce, their homemade sauce that they use. You know, because there's a lot of people out there that would rather have their ribs with sauce on it. Why, I don't know, but hey, whatever.
The whole idea is once you find a place that has all the elements that we like, okay, you just keep going back to it, because that platter right there, I mean, holy moly, I don't know what the price is, but I tell you what, when you said
$30.
When you said surprise me,
They did. I'll tell you what, that's a pleasant surprise too. I really like that.
Yeah.
I like that second wife. I'm not sure what I would need with a second wife.
Yeah, exactly.
So that does look like a bourbon. I brought the website up
Okay.
and I'm on the menu
Okay.
and it says it's a Bourbon Street Jambalaya.
Oh, very nice.
So does that sound like what you got? That's what
Yep.
it kind of looks like.
Yeah. Exactly. It's pretty much what it is, Lee.
Nice.
Very good. Lots of flavor. I mean, depths of flavor. That's what I love about it. It's not just it hits you and like, oh, you're done. It hits you all across the tongue, the roof of your mouth, everything.
Cucumber salad is the other thing.
Okay. Well, that's exactly what this is then.
Yep.
Cucumber salad.
That'd be your cucumber salad.
So, out of 10, what would you rate that joint?
Oh, the 10 White Russians, I would give it 9.99 White Russians. I mean, these guys are so cool. They're very friendly. You know, I walked in here and they recognized me.
That's cool.
And I hadn't been in here in 6-7 months at least.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the lady's like, hey, you're that grilling dude. Yeah, thank you so much. That's so cool. And that's when I was in here. Was Friday? I was in here Wednesday.
So leaving your business card rolled up in the tip is paying off for you.
Exactly. Well, that and tagging people as well. So I did a video from here, and I think it came out yesterday. It's just a quick, 2.5-minute video, and I tagged them. And they were right away. They were like, "Hey, thank you so much, Mike, for doing this. Appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow." What more? I mean, you can't go wrong with something like that.
Today I took my daughter out for her birthday and my birthday. We went out for lunch to a place where I recommend if you come out to Las Vegas. It's called Bootleggers. I had Keto Mike was there with us. Also, Mark Kratz when he came out. I also went there with him. So got to the point where I walked in today, and the girl said, "Again? You're back again?" But
That's a good thing, all right.
Yeah, when stuff is good, it's good. I mean, that's what you want to see in a restaurant. And the more you see a happy customer, coming in, the better off everything rolls for you. This right here is amazing. I mean, this. Let me get it here. I'm falling behind here. This thing right here is. Off the charts good. Off the charts good.
Off the charts good. I mean, we've been, talking about doing a collab with nothing. What was it? Something about no turkey or
right. Anything but turkey.
Anything but turkey. And there we go. There's that chicken right there.
Yeah.
I really thought it was turkey at first, just by the look at it, because it's so big. But it's chicken, and then tell you what, it's good.
Wow, unbelievable.
Hey, you got me wanting to run out, and I just got home from dinner.
I'm telling you, though, the best part, and I'll say it again, is when you go to a joint and you do not have to put sauce on your food.
Yep.
That's good food. In my opinion, sauce complements, but unfortunately, people dump sauce on there, and it masks the food.
Yeah. You want to taste it?
What would you say that this? What is their signature dish? Like, what is the one thing that Sugarhouse is known for?
I want to say they're ribs because of the fact that on Thursday nights they do that competition rib, and if they only do it on that night, and that's a big special thing around here, is their competition style ribs, and they've done very well with it.
Okay. Because I go into a barbecue spot, and here in South Carolina, it depends on what kind of barbecue you're looking for. If you're looking for a Kansas City style barbecue, you're looking for traditional vinegar-based barbecue, or depending on which region of barbecue you're looking for, where you're going to go to get it. And so anytime I go somewhere new, I'm like, what are you known for?
I never thought about that.
That way I get what they're proud of.
Mm-hmm.
what they said, this is what I need to make a storefront out of.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
I would
one in
guess that that's
Charlotte.
it.
One in Charlotte I went to, and I was told, I asked the waitress, and she asked another one, and they both said the brisket and chicken.
Okay.
And that's what I got. Loved it. Got the pulled pork. Blech, not good. But it wasn't my taste. Well,
okay.
let's put it that way. So it was cooked. It was all that. It just wasn't to my flavor. I didn't like it.
Gotcha.
Now, people two seats over loved it. Hey,
Mhm. That's the beauty of it, right?
yep. And that's why I was wondering, like, what was their main dish or their main protein that you tried and said, I've got to come back and get this every time I go?
I would say it's their ribs. I had their ribs the first time I was here 10 months ago, 11 months ago. And the same guy then, as today, he goes, hey, about 5:30, he goes, hey, do you want to come out back with me? I'm taking ribs off. Because that's what you had, several months ago when you were here and you liked. And I thought, I was setting everything up, so I had to take a pass. But yeah, I think for them, it's probably their ribs. And I get it. I mean, this is a good looking rib right
Mhm.
there.
Yep.
There's some structure to it.
So let me ask both of you a question now, because
Tons of flavor. Texture is amazing.
This comes up a lot. People ask, do you want the little pull to it, or do you want it full off the bone? Type of rib, or like a Chinese type of spare rib that they have. What's your guys' preference as far as you want it falling off the bone, or you want a little bite to it?
You first, Lee. I'm eating.
For me, it depends on what the end result's going to be for it. If I'm making it for myself, just to eat,
Mhm.
then I want just a little tug, not much, but just a little bit. If I'm looking I'm going to repurpose it into a sandwich or into mac and cheese or green beans, then I want it more fall off the bone.
Okay.
If I'm going for vacuum
Somebody's waving
seal
it
and
back
reheat,
here, dude.
if I'm going for like a vacuum seal and reheat, then I want it even less done than I would to begin with.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
If I'm
Makes
making
sense.
if I'm making it for competition, you want just that bend because you're going to reheat those.
Right.
So you want to hold them with your tongs about 3 or 4 ribs in, and you want them to bend about like that.
Okay.
You start to see that crack, and that's as far as I want to take them.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. So that's more for competition, or if I know I'm going to sauce. And by sauce, I mean glaze.
Glaze,
Real
yes.
thin,
Yep.
just like really thin, kind of, like if you take a Sweet Baby Ray's and water it down. Or
Okay.
put apple juice in it to water it down.
Correct.
Or Uncle Steve's, which is a glaze.
Correct.
You sprinkle a little hot sauce on it, brush it in. That's what I'm talking about, thin glaze.
Correct. It's the mop, right?
Hey, Johnny, how you doing?
Yeah, it's a modified mop without making the mop sauce.
Okay.
Without dropping it on there and
Gotcha.
dousing it.
Johnny
Yeah.
Small Pepper.
Yep, Johnny. Hello, Johnny. How you
Welcome.
doing?
Howdy.
So for my right now, I always go back in time from when selling this stuff. Okay.
Mhm.
So the ribs, I would take it to a little bit of a pull. Okay, because they were heating for a while. We'd cook them and then I'd hold them.
Mhm.
Okay, I'd have a cooking temperature, like 250 or lower, and then I'd hold them at 160. Okay, actually stop the cooking
Interesting.
and just hold them like that. Now, every rib that I did, I'd pull the membrane off the back, and the reason why I did that, boy, look at that right there.
A smoke ring. Sorry.
And the reason why I would pull the backing off is because I would take the ones at the end of the night. If I seen where they weren't selling, I'd crank it up and start cooking them a little bit more until they came off the bone. And that was my pulled pork sandwich for the next day when I opened up for lunch.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
we would do, like ribs, pulled pork, it's the same thing, but pulling it from the rib that way. Me personally, okay, I don't care how they are. I love ribs. I love baby backs. I love spare ribs. Any way you make them, any way you put them out there, I'm a rib guy. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I'm not going to complain if you bite them and the meat falls off the bone. I'm not going to complain about it.
It's definitely who you're making them for and why you're making them.
Yeah.
For me.
And there's that. Yeah, absolutely.
Because my nephew loves ribs, but only when I make them with my rub. He doesn't care for any other ribs, any other place. And he's like, and he likes that little bit of tug.
Right.
He doesn't want to fall off the bone.
Yeah. So when I get spare ribs, and if there's a sale on it, okay, I could never understand why they would cut them. And if you hear me out, okay, if they're gonna square it up, okay, and they're gonna take the chine bone off and they're gonna do all this stuff and they cook at the same time as they're cooking the Kansas City ribs that they just cut, cook the whole thing and then trim it. Okay, I mean you're cooking everything at the same time, and then square it up and do it like that because you're going to cut the spare ribs anyway into regular ribs. So cook the whole. I mean that's my thinking, as far as wasting time or moving along with it.
Oh my gosh, we got Josh in here. Woo, hey Josh, Skinner Farms. Welcome.
When you square up your own
burpee,
one, it's less time that the butcher's got to spend cutting it, and you get the rib tips.
Yeah, but I do that myself.
You don't get the rib tips if you cook it all at once.
Yeah, sure you do. You can cut them up. You can chop them up.
But that's all and then your presentation's off because you don't have that.
Well, if you're in competition
on the end.
Yeah, if you're in competition, that's one thing. But I mean, for cooking at the house,
RXTX barbecue. Thank you so much.
That way, Randy, what's up, brother? So I mean, to each his own. Just I'm coming from that end of it, where you know what, you're going to make money with it. Why spend all that time trimming and cook them all at the same time with another pan in the oven? Doesn't make sense. Or on the grill.
Yeah,
cook the whole thing up and then trim it out, square it up, and then.
And if I'm doing a lot, like if I'm doing 5 racks at a time, and I trim them up, I will save the rib tips and that cartilage, and I will put that in the freezer. All the trimmings will go in the freezer, and then that becomes a meal later on with just rib tips, and those are like luscious nuggets.
Oh wow!
You cook them just like burn ends. You cook them just like burn ends. You roll them in a rub, you put them on a smoker, and you smoke them. And then you toss them in a sauce, put them back on. Oh,
see, I trim everything up, and then I'll cut them up, and I'll put them in the freezer, vacuum seal bag, and put them in the freezer. If I want rib tips, I take them out. They're already cut up.
They're fantastic for baked beans, green beans. I've even put them in omelets.
Ooh, that sounds really good, actually.
Yeah.
Knock it off, lady.
Yep.
Hey, I'm telling you. I'm a fat guy for a reason.
You're in good company.
Yeah, we like to eat.
Yeah. Mr. Einstein.
Burpee Yoga, how are you doing?
Great channels right there. A lot of great channels. And that's the whole idea. I mean, people get that concept that you got to trim it up this way, do it that. No, you don't. Make it your way. It's almost
the same thing as, we were talking about ribs, right? Fall off the bone, that's people's choice. That's what they're calling it now. And then there's the competition ribs. Now, you might have heard me every once in a while say, thanks, Chili's, for everybody wanting to fall off the bone. That came from Jeff here. And we were looking at his ribs the first time I was here, and he was like, no, we don't do them that way. But I want to thank Chili's for making everybody want that, because when people come in here, that's kind of what they expect. But no, I'm sorry. No.
Barbecue
These are not fall off the bone. And these are freaking amazing. This is my favorite way to do it. I mean, I go.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, when I go
back, I got that little, I don't know if you can see it very well. There's that pull back. And It just came right off the bone, but it's not fall off the bone.
And I will tell you, when it comes to seasoning my ribs, straight salt, pepper.
Bingo.
It is
Really?
2 parts,
Okay.
2 parts black pepper, 1 part salt. That's it.
Interesting. Okay.
Because then that draws in a lot of smoke. You get more smoke flavor that way. Then when you get ready to wrap, or that hour and 45 minutes, 2-hour mark, and you're going to wrap, that's when I add whatever kind of flavor that I'm going for.
I'd have never thought about that, but you know what? That makes 100%.
Yep.
The simpler, the
sense.
better. The simpler, the better. With no sauce, what a taste.
Yep.
Yeah.
Before you
then-
wrap, it's all about taking in that
Ano-
smoke at that point.
Here's
and then
the thing.
another secret. Another
Yeah.
secret. I'm going to give this one away.
Uh-oh.
Is when you pull it off, and people, your YouTube told, or you're trained, I guess, or everybody. The norm is you sauce it, put it back on for the sauce to set.
Okay.
I dare anybody to try this. When they're cooked and you pick them up and you're in about 4 ribs and they hang over, and they don't split, but they hang. Take them, put them on a sheet pan, lay it in the microwave, shut the door.
Because they're going to continue to cook for a little bit, and then they're slowly going to come
That's
down.
when, if I'm going to glaze it, I'll glaze it then, set it in the microwave, because that radiant heat from the ribs is going to heat up the microwave, which is what? It's an
Steam.
insulated box.
It's
Yeah.
steaming it.
And it's going to
Yeah.
hold the heat.
Yeah.
And that will set your bark. It'll help reset your bark, and it'll set your sauce.
Okay.
I've been doing that for quite a few years now, and it saves me time with trying to clean a cooler, keeping a barbecue towel and all that stuff. I don't have to fool with any of that. I just throw it in the microwave.
And what Grumpus
leave
is
it
saying
there.
what Grumpus is saying right there, okay, it is how you like it and how you want to do it. There is nobody going to knock on your door and go like this: "Rib police, you're under arrest. You have the right to keep your bone on."
It's all personal. It's all personal preference, and
Yeah.
so when I like I said, I'm cooking, if I'm cooking for my brother, who likes things different than my nephew, who likes things different than what I do, right? So they like the different textures because of what they're used to. My brother's the chilies guy. He goes and gets ribs or fall off the bone. That's what he knows. That's what he likes.
Yeah, more power to him.
My nephew got spoiled because I started cooking for him. He makes my bear rub, my little Cajun rub, and he will only eat ribs if I make them.
You know, Mike, Barbecue Mike G has a good point. I'll put it up there, real. You want to put it up there, Tom?
I got it.
Yeah. My grandkids love fall off the bone.
Exactly.
They would not want this.
And the thing of it is the older you get, okay, that's when your tastes start to change. Okay.
Correct.
From every kid I know, every young person I know eats beef well done. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Until all of a sudden they start playing with steaks and stuff like that, and start getting a little medium rare or stuff like that. Turn around. But ribs. Now, I got to say a couple things here. Okay. How cool was this that Mike did under the circumstances, did the live in this place, and this place let him in there to show that platter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how great was that? And you said it was $30
Yeah.
for that. You can't go wrong.
A lot of
I said
freaking food here, dude.
So
Yeah,
you're talking about kids. Think about what kids enjoy. Chicken nuggets,
That's true.
right? They don't eat chicken breasts. They don't
No.
eat chicken thighs. When they eat steak, it's because mom and dad cut it up for them.
That's the right way, Grumpus.
So
Yeah.
fall off the bone ribs, it's pulled off with a fork. There's a pile, and that's how they're eating it, chunks,
Mm-hmm.
like chicken nuggets.
There he is, man, the myth.
My thoughts.
He is that. No, I agree. That makes total sense, Lee.
Because like I I could make stuff when the kids were little and they didn't like it because
Yep.
the texture, it was too shredded or it was on a bone and it was just too much for them to try to handle.
Mhm.
So if I took the ribs and went a little bit farther, pulled them off with a fork and had chunks, as long as they had a dipping sauce, they were good.
Okay.
Mike, you didn't put a dent in that. You got to get busy, brother.
No. I'll tell you what, though, everything
barely-
was absolutely amazing.
Barely touched his wing.
Wings are awesome. Everything is good.
That
everything.
jambalaya looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's going to taste good tonight too, when I'm laying in bed watching the History Channel.
There you go. So
Yeah,
look, what'd you get? Brisket?
What's
Hold
that,
on.
Mike?
What'd you get? Brisket?
Yeah,
Wings
so
and ribs?
yeah, there's brisket here. We got wings, ribs, and chicken breast. Which
Chicken breast.
you know,
Okay.
chicken breast it dries out, but that's another thing too. This chicken breast is not dry.
Wow.
I got, I believe it's stuffing,
Oh, cool.
jambalaya. Ooh, yeah, baby. And this is kind of an onion. What was it? What did they call this, Lee?
Cucumber
Yeah.
That's
salad.
a cucumber
Cucumber
salad.
salad.
That's a
Cucumber
cucumber
salad, yeah.
salad.
And then, of course, what's left of a
Don't look,
corn
Mike.
muffin.
Don't look,
Cornbread.
Keto Mike.
Oh,
What's that?
I told Keto Mike, don't look. Cornbread.
Yeah,
I
turn your
could,
head.
man, I could eat the heck out of that cucumber salad.
Now, Keto
Oh,
Mike,
Yo,
do you have a cornbread recipe that doesn't taste like almond flour?
nope.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh my God, I feel so bad right now. I have let him down.
There was my one hope.
Brutally honest.
There was
Okay,
my
we are,
one
actually.
hope.
But here's the thing,
I feel
Lee.
bad now. I done let you down.
Yeah. I got to tell you something. Okay, today was my daughter. Was for my daughter's birthday. Me and her just went to lunch at this place, and at the end, they give you a homemade cannoli. Okay, and what they did was, because I'm a frequent flyer there, they brought out 2 cannolis. I feel like what was the guy on Sesame
Very
Street?
nice.
1 cannoli, 2 cannoli.
Count.
So I said to the girl, I said, "You're killing me. You're actually killing me." So I flipped over my phone and I showed her on the back of my phone, Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook. And my daughter's videotaping it. I said, "Whoa, I feel a conspiracy going here." She said, "Pop, I got you good. Bang, eating a canola." Here's the theory behind it, Lee. If you want corn muffins, make them and eat them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
plain and simple.
I mean, I'm going to sit down and eat 10 of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to play the game. That's all. I mean, you know what's good for you, and you know what's bad for you. But do it. I mean, if that's what you want, have it.
Yep.
Lee, I'm going to work on that and see if I can come up with something.
I mean, I mean, like I was telling Mike before, the dude, I felt like I painted myself in the corner as far as keto. Okay, but you know what? I know how to cook everything else. I can make something else. I can do the whole idea. That's me, not everybody that's watching. So I'm going to switch things up a little bit. We're going to make a couple different things. Leave the gun. No, I can't say that on here. I'll get kicked off. Brian.
I agree with you, Uncle Burpee Yoga Uncle says, I like pork ribs better than I do beef ribs, but steak is way better than pork chops.
Hands down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know. It's a good thing I wonder.
Yeah.
A lot of people cook pork chops to dry the hell out.
Yeah. And I also
That's
think
true.
it's like if you were raised where you had steak night and you had pork chops night.
Yeah, we had that when I was a kid.
The only time we had beef growing up really was if you went to a restaurant or like a ground beef, hamburgers or something like that.
Yeah.
We didn't have steak night.
Or you go to grandma and grandpa's.
We would do good having pork chops.
If
Pork
there was
chops and applesauce.
if there was steak night, Mama and Daddy had steak night. We
Yeah.
didn't.
We had hot dogs.
Yeah. Now we would have battered steak, where get cube steak
Chicken
and
fried?
batter it. No, yeah,
Oh,
and we would
I
have
love
that.
that stuff though.
But
Yep,
that was
chicken steak.
a cheap cut of meat.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
they usually pound it down. Actually, what it was is probably either a chuck or a rump roast that was
Rump,
sliced up.
Right.
Beat the hell out of it to make it like it was. All they did was made it stringy. That's all they did, you know. And
But then the
with
same-
gravy on it.
The same cream of mushroom soup that you'd put on that, you put on a hamburger patty, and now it's a burger steak.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
It's also the one that you find most in the discount bin at the grocery store.
Right.
That kind of meat.
So I
Really
take the
odd.
pork chops and what I'll do, I like hot stuff. I'll take Italian hot peppers, and I'll cook them up, and then I'll start sautéing off the peppers with the actually banana peppers, and it's a vinegar sauce. Get that going. Put the pork chops back in that again, and that actually takes a little bit of the toughness away from it. A little heat to it also, but that's a different way of doing it.
To answer Brian's question, I don't check the temp on them. I go by touch. I go by and look. I'm guessing, given the way I do it, it's probably closer to 145 than it is 165.
Yeah, you can actually, and nowadays you can actually eat pork with a little redness.
Little redness to it, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Back in the day, it was because they were worried about trichinosis and botulism,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why they wanted pork cooked all the way, because they don't have what I have now.
And your
So that's
chops
the only
are
reason
coming-
why you can get that.
Your chops are coming pretty close to the pork loin,
Mhm.
so you're cooking that to 145
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or 140, and then I take it off, put it on a plate, put it in the microwave, and let it rest for about 15 minutes, and it'll hit that 145 and come down.
I watched the
Oh, gotcha.
documentary. I watched a documentary from China, okay, and how they cook chicken. Some of the chicken looks not fully cooked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I tell you, growing up, we had to, after whatever, it didn't matter whose house you was at, because everybody cooked it till it was like shoe leather, because that was, you were told don't leave pork even close to medium. You got to cook it well done. And
I grew up in that realm.
you had to pour ketchup or steak sauce or barbecue sauce or something on it, because otherwise you were gonna have a hanger
My
somewhere in
grandmother
your
would
throat.
my grandmother would take a pork picnic, okay, what they call it now, all right?
I love the
And
name Crossover Paranormal Society.
Yeah.
By
I
the
do
way.
too.
By the way.
she would take it and boil it first, and then put it in the oven. Because you talk about dry, when you cut into it, it's like almost like sawdust.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
that's the old ways of doing things. Times have changed.
Was it back in the day? Everything was boiled though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
When I first started cooking, I went off the beer. How many beers? I didn't own a thermometer forever. I didn't know anything about internal temps.
How
I
long
know
did it
guys
take
like
you to-
that, but
I learned by feel and beers.
How long
Feel
did it take
beer.
you to cook a steak, Lee? 3 beers.
Well, the way that I drink, I mean, it's 3 quick beers,
Mm-hmm.
which is about 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes, or are we talking like we're chatting and we're working in, conversation? So it all depended on-
sipping.
It all depended on what I was going on.
Right.
But I would go off if it was just me sitting outside and I'm just casually drinking a beer. It'd be like 2 beers. Flip.
Yeah.
Drink 2 more beers. We're done. Do the.
I used to
fork
work with a
test,
guy. Go ahead.
and then I would do the fork test. See what it felt like. Yeah, good enough.
I used to work with a guy who asked him. I remember asking him how far away he lived, and he goes, "About 3 beers."
Oh, wow.
That's like that Italian guy had that I worked for. Okay, and he said, "Why you were drinking the wine with the ice? Are you crazy?" I said, "Try it." He said, Ooh, that's a good. You know, why it's 400 degrees in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For the night.
exactly.
But and you know,
Well, go-
this whole thing that we're trying to do is open it up to everybody to come in and do stuff. And what Dude's
Correct.
doing tonight is showing different places that, you know, out in Salt Lake and stuff like that, of how he's enjoying his night out. Okay, so if we were cooking right now, next project we can do is find out where he's going next, and maybe try to cook what they have on the menu. else?
Oh,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know where I'm going next. I'll know shortly.
And don't go no sushi joint or nothing like that. Okay.
No.
Now sushi
No.
can be good. It can be really good.
Yeah, it's good if you're fishing. I'm not a sushi guy. I'm sorry. I just
Thinking
See,
a
that's-
wing
that's-
joint. You gotta find a
that's-
good
I
wing
watched-
joint or a
Hey.
taco, street tacos.
I watched the lady
Ooh.
out here. Okay, one of the casinos. They have the sushi bar. Okay, Green Valley Ranch, and you go up and you get the sushi and they cut it up, and she's slamming this fish down. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm saying to myself, okay, if you're used to it, that's great. Then they ordered shrimp. Okay, she actually told the chef behind the line, turned around and she said to him, "This shrimp is not cooked all the way." I said, "Are you really saying that? You just got done slamming tuna down, you know, and now you're saying the shrimp ain't cooked right? I don't get it. I just don't understand it."
so we
Not
were
the
at this
sharpest tool in
place.
the shed, that's for sure.
We went to this place and they're well known for their shrimp. And two of the guys got the big platters of shrimp cocktail. And it comes out,
Right back.
it's not peeled or deveined. And it's cooked all the way through.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I said, wait a minute now, that ain't split at all. And they're like, no, they had to peel them themselves. No slit in the back. I said, so that ain't even deveined.
No.
How is this place selling you a pound of shrimp that they're well known for? They're jumbo shrimp. I mean, they were huge. And they had to, literally eat shit. They put Old Bay on it. And since the whole Frank's Red Hot, I put that on everything.
Mhm.
But
So
yeah,
so it still had the poop chute was still intact.
yep.
This
Cooked all
is
the way
a great
through. It was
this is a great quote right here. That's a great quote right there.
Beer count is how.
When he wakes up, time to wrap.
Yep. Keep it at 2 1/4, and it just rides all the way.
Too funny. Too funny. So
That's
yeah, I
good.
mean, everybody gets that idea. They, got to follow the recipe to the T. This and that. Actually, you really don't. Okay, you make things your way. I mean, baking. Yeah, I would say that, but just generally, if you're grilling up steaks or what, even hamburgers. Okay?
I'll tell you the one that kind of busts my bubble. I get irritated because when I talk to somebody and they're new and they want to talk barbecue with you, right?
Mhm.
And they want to talk ribs. Hey, fine, sweet, let's talk ribs. And then they start preaching the 3-2-1 method. Okay. And I say, well, what are you cooking on? Traeger. No, but anyway, so the 3-2-1 method is okay if you're going for a fall off the bone and you're cooking 200 to 225 whole time. Then it can work. Which you guys know what that is, right? 3 hours in smoke, 2 hours in the wrap, and then 1 hour out of the wrap.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1 is the devil.
Yeah. What my concern is the wrap. What's behind the wrap? Okay, and there again, from where I come from, okay, doing it, I don't know.
Grandpa's pegged it right there.
That's just the one that when I talk to somebody and they're new to it and they're like, well, how do you do ribs? And I'll say, set the thing at 275, 300, an hour and a half in, check it. If you're going to add seasoning, turn it on the grill, and let it go for another hour. You should be done in 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And they're like, well, what about 3, 2, 1? And I was like, oh my goodness.
But what about it?
Say that's an exchange, ain't it? In
Yeah.
Tampa, Florida, or something. 3, 2, 1.
It is an exchange. Yeah.
You know, and if you're cooking on, like, I believe the pellet smokers, the T1 especially, has the super smoke, which I don't have one, so I don't know for sure. But from what I've gathered, that the super smoke cooks at 180 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you longer time to absorb smoke.
Correct.
So that what you could do the time frame of the 3, 2, 1 because it's going to take you 6 hours to get the rack ribs up to 180 degrees.
Yeah.
The only smoking I've done was on it was a smoker my brother and I built, and it was it was in a pit, and it had a chimney, and to regulate temperature, we had to fire in the front indirect, and it would draw it across to the chimney, and we could put a ton of stuff. I mean, it was as
That's how they did it in the old days, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and you had to open the flue. You had to adjust the flue to be able to maintain a certain temperature. There was no little dial on there. Okay, I want 275, and it'll.
That's old school, though.
Yeah.
It's like you see those guys who are doing the whole pigs on cinder blocks.
Yeah.
There's a cinder block pit.
Well, that's what it was. A cinder block. What's what we had? A cinder block pit.
Old school, man. I dig it.
Yeah,
I mean, pull off a cinder block pit. You know your stuff.
When we were talking about, a few years ago before all my stuff went on, we were talking about trying to get into catering, and I was pricing out a cinder block pit to do my catering on.
Have you done a whole pig before, Lee?
No, I have not.
I mean, neither. It scares
I've
the
never
hell out of
done
me
one.
to even think about it.
I know a guy who did it, and he said it was a lot of work.
We haven't had if we had the time, we didn't have the money, and if we had the money, we didn't have the time. And when we had the time and the money, we didn't have something big enough to cook it on.
Yeah.
But you mean cinder block pit? You can do anything on there. You could do brisket, 10 briskets over that damn thing.
Yep.
Trying to find a picture, I can't find it.
This thing we built, the cinder block pit we built, it had a lid you could raise, and we had it running on a pulley system over to a log, and the log had an eye bolt in it and the cable on it, and you just pull it, and it was a piece of 1/4-inch sheet metal.
Yep, your counterweight. Yeah.
Yeah, and we would lift it. It was on hinges. We welded hinges on there.
That's cool.
And it would come up and go down, and you could about medium-sized turkeys, you could put about 25 on it.
That's great.
Wow. Yeah.
So we would smoke up tons of stuff while we were doing it. We did, relatives. We cooked for relatives and did their turkeys and hams and you name it, and did it for us and other family members and friends. We would spend a whole weekend doing it.
That's cool. You think about that's cool.
But we'd only do it Thanksgiving and Christmas. That was it. Didn't do it any other time of the year.
Well,
if you're a caterer like Lee was talking about.
I've got a drum right here, and I love cooking on drums. They're super easy, and they're just amazing. So I have one, Mike, for you. Whenever we can get together.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. It won't be that one. That's my competition drum. But I got one over here that I think you'll enjoy.
Yeah.
It's Star Wars.
There you go, right there. Yep.
Look at that.
Very
Two
similar.
whole hogs.
Yep.
Okay. Did a little bit of everything. Now that was a combination. That was a combination gas. Okay. And what I did was I had the gas to light the wood. Okay. But I did more. The whole hog was okay. Okay. I rather go to the butcher and get a bunch of picnics, a bunch of butts, ribs, and stuff like that, because It took you almost, I don't know, close to 20 some hours to do it. About 5 bottles of scotch. Okay. up for many hours.
Very important.
Up for many hours. Okay. And never enjoyed eating the whole hog. Okay.
Yep.
Well,
What I used to do with that is I would turn around and I'd slit along the bacon. I would slit and start cutting up as it cooked. Keep cutting up and let bring the bones up, the ribs.
mhm.
Okay, so
I've heard of that. Yeah.
you can pick at the bacon, the whole bit, and pick everything apart from there. Yeah.
Now I say we didn't do a whole hog. We have done a whole deer.
Okay.
And we'd do it kind of like a spatchcock chicken, the way we'd lay it in there.
Mhm.
And then we've also quartered the deer up and cooked it that way and had everything, laid in there perfect. Because I don't know if anybody else does it, but we'd cook the neck, because there was a lot of meat on the deer neck.
That's very old school to do something like that.
Yeah.
Nowadays that would be just thrown out. Same with the oxtail or the tongue, but
Now the thing I used to enjoy when I lived in Texas was to go to these ranchers and these different farms and stuff that they raise the cattle. Okay, and they would do these almost like Brazilian cooks.
The asada cross.
Okay, and they'd split that joker wide open, and they'd start it on Monday, and you probably eat that Friday. You know what I mean? Just nice and slow with the fire, but I tell you what, it's fantastic. You couldn't get no better than that.
Yeah.
and juicy, I bet. Oh,
And living in North Carolina when we did, I remember they call it pig picking. We're gonna go do a pig picking. Okay, no problem. That sounds good. And they go there, and I'm waiting for them to take the pig off the burner, or the pit, and put it on the table and pick it apart. Everybody stood in line right on the grill.
Yep.
And they pick what they want to pick. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
oh how
And
cool.
watch the old guy have a spoon and a fork that he carried with him all the time. And he picked that thing up. He looked like a French waiter picking up that meat put it on his plate and went away. I said, boy, I tell you what, if you don't have the proper grabber, you're starving.
Yep.
Yep.
A lot of fun. It was a lot of fun in North Carolina. You know what? And I learned a lot also.
Oh, I bet.
Just from the sauces alone, making the different sauces and stuff. So
I knew a guy that I used to go to years ago to deer camp with, and when I hunted, I haven't hunted in a very long time.
Amen.
But he brought his wok, and it was huge, and he had a spoon and a fork, nice size one, and he would hold them in his fingers, and he'd put that wok on the fire, and he would cook in that wok, and he'd turn everything with the spoon and the fork.
Yep.
Where he had it in his fingers looking like that, and I'm like,
That's cool.
I'm like, how are you doing that?
Exactly.
Mike, you want
They know how to, though. It's weird. It's a lost art. That's for sure. Things like that.
Yeah.
Mike, you want to open this up, or
Yeah, let's do it, Tom. Open this bad boy up.
let's see where we're at here.
I tried to do that in my kitchen with a wok. I flung food all over the kitchen. And I'm like, well, won't be trying that again anytime soon.
Let's throw that link in there, Tom. Go for it.
Yeah, that's the old school cooking like that. It's kind of a lost art, just like Dutch oven cooking.
Correct.
Oh yeah,
You don't.
yeah.
You see a lot of people talking about it, but you don't see a lot of
that
of
the
it
right
being
one?
done.
I used to take my Dutch oven, and I would take some of the coals, and I would mix up a cake, and I'd make at the deer camp, and I'd make pineapple upside down cake, and for dessert
Oh, yeah.
out there using the coals. And they're
Peach
like,
cobbler. Ooh, yeah.
made that in the Dutch oven once too.
Oh yeah.
I did too.
And they when I told them what I was gonna make, they said, "No way." I said, "Stand
Way.
and watch." stand and watch, I said, the only thing I got to, that I got to watch for is overcooking.
I had a hunting cabin upstate New York, me and my brother, and it was 5.5 hours away from us in Jersey. Okay, we would go up there, and it was just on the edge of our property met Adirondack State Park. Okay, we were 2 miles from the main road up this dirt road up to our property up there. So we bought this old cabin, and for some strange reason, the old cabin burnt down, and we had to build a new one. So at the time, he worked in a refinery, all right, and he had a guy make him a 24-inch pipe from the pipeline, okay, and it was just about 4 foot high, and the guy cut out legs on it, and I told him where to weld in nuts and bolts, and I made a gas burner out of it, okay, with the grill on it, and that went inside the cabin. This thing was probably 300 or 400 pounds. We had to boost up the bottom on it. My nephew was a tin knocker, so he made a hood for us in this cabin. I'm trying to find the pictures. I can't find them right now. And
there it is.
N.A.
Patty Joe N.A.
We would go up there and we would have feasts.
No, Coke Zero.
in this camper, in this cabin. And it'd get real cold out, make a big pot of stew, okay, and then just start cooking on this gas burner that we had inside. I mean, what a time. What food we put out was unbelievable. You know what I mean? And we would go up. My birthday's in October, and my two brothers were November 26th. Thanksgiving Day, everybody got together. Everybody to eat Thanksgiving, and then there probably was like 28 of us would go up to the cabin.
That's cool.
And we go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and come out and leave Sunday. Okay. And it was a combination of everything. I had a couple guys that had a pizzeria would bring dough up and make homemade pizza. Everything done on that grill that we had made. Mm-hmm. Big
That's cool, dude.
The whole bit. No electric, no running water. Okay. And it was actually outhouse, the whole bit. It had the moon on it. I called it the ticket booth. And we'd go up there and we would cook some wild stuff. I mean, Chateaubriand, all that kind of crazy stuff.
Oh God.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun. And I look back at them Danes and I'm saying, holy moly. I mean, what a great way for everybody to get together, the whole 9 yards. We'd have one guy, and we'd give everybody a job to do. Here, you cut the peppers up. Well, they had the Italian long hots they were going to make pizza with, okay? So this one guy was cutting long hots up. They're all buddies. We all grew up together. And one guy walked past and said, "Hey, Bill, you got something in your eye." And Bill
he fell for it.
Oh!
I had to hide the guns. I mean, everybody would go up there to go hunt. I had to hide the guns.
That reminds me. Everybody at camp knew if alcohol came out, Mike was leaving. And they said, why do you leave? I said, because we got a lot of damn guns here.
Guns and alcohol do not mix.
I ain't sticking around.
No, we pretty well trusted everybody that was there and the whole bit. And here's the funny thing about it. Everybody would go spend, it was $99 for a hunting license. Okay. Everybody would go spend the money on a hunting license, never leave the cabin.
Yeah.
Never leave the cabin.
Yeah. That's like when I go to Alaska to go fishing. I spend $55 for a out-of-state license, 3-day license. I spend 10 minutes fishing and the rest of the time drinking.
No. I'm out in the woods. I'm out in the woods, lean up against a big rock. It's all granite rock up there, and I'm in the woods, and I got a hangover that would beat the band. My gun's laying up against the rock, and the deer comes out and it's like stared at me. I'm like, "Get out of here! Leave me alone."
Well, this same bunch, we'd go fishing and trout fish, and we'd camp. And I would drink when we would do that, and they said, "Well, you got a double standard. You don't do this at deer camp." I said, "I'll take my chances with a fishing rod rather than a 30-06."
Yeah.
Everybody has their own preferences and stuff like that. But the bottom line was, it wasn't talking about what we were going hunting for, what we were going to do, how we were going to do. It was around food.
Yeah.
Food. Yeah.
I'll bring this. I'll bring that. One guy was in charge of breakfast. Another guy was in charge of lunch. Right down the line. And me just coming at the restaurants and stuff. Guess who the cook was? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So so I had no problem with it, and I'd have different help and different. It was a lot of fun. I miss them days. I really do. That's what I'm trying to. What we're doing here right now. You know what I mean? Even if it's virtual. You're in Idaho. I'm or Utah, and I'm in Vegas, and Lee's in South Carolina. Mike's in Georgia. Let's cook. Let's do it. Let's.
Yeah.
The brotherhood.
Getting to where
Brotherhood and all those.
anytime I go somewhere where there's family, they're like, "What are you bringing ribs? You bringing pork? You bringing chicken? What are you bringing?" And I'm like, "Whoa!" I mean, this last trip, I took up 6 pounds to my sister-in-law, a pulled pork, and they said, "You don't have any chicken?" I said, "No." Well, we're getting ready in December. We're going away for the Christmas week. We're going to the beach, and the family members are putting in orders. We want ribs. We want chicken. We want. I was like, okay. So I'm not buying any food other than the meat.
There you go.
The whole time we're there. You want a side dish? Go get it.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm with Tom. This is, to me, this is kind of a brotherhood, and then you had all the folks that come and visit while we're here in the chat, and like Brian and Grumpus, Bat, Burpee, and all these folks come in. They're all just a part of the family, and they just come hang out. And they do their thing, and they come back. They go. It's all good.
Yeah.
You know what the nice thing is about right here now. I don't foresee me going to Utah anytime soon. Okay, but if I did, okay, now I got a mark now. I know, boom, that's where I'm going to go. You know what I mean? And that's the nice thing about it. But what you showed tonight was what we all make.
Thanks, Uncle.
Correct.
What we like, what we want to eat. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna say one thing. Here's to you, Gene. Hope you do better. Hope everything's okay.
Yep.
Hang in there, kiddo.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
Hopefully she comes. She comes back to the hotel on Sunday or Monday.
Cool.
We're
Very
hoping.
good.
Fingers
Very
crossed.
good.
But when you think they'll let you leave and go home?
We are scheduled. Well, our last day at the hotel is the 17th.
Okay.
But from here, we go to Pocatello, and I'll do my show from Pocatello, or do this show. Sorry, this show from Pocatello. But
Cool.
And then we'll go home on Saturday. But that's the plan for now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Mike, Keto Mike. I was in today with my daughter Terry for her birthday. I took her for when your kids get older, what are you going to buy them? What are you going to do for them for their birthday? So our birthday's a week apart. Okay, so I said to her, I said, you know what? You're busy. I've been running around crazy. I said, so let's make it a lunch date. Let's do that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in our stomping ground, Mike. We went to
Bootleggers. Man, I tell you, the place is good. That frittata I have was unbelievably good.
But they said to me, "You here again?" I was there Wednesday night with my nephew. "You here again?" I said to the girl, I said, "Where's the time clock? I got to punch in."
Yeah.
But it's all fun. I recommend, like I said before, I recommend anybody that comes out. You got to go there. It's off the strip. It's on Las Vegas Boulevard. It's off the strip, but great place. A lot of history.
Like I would recommend this place in a heartbeat.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
You gotta love a place, especially for like me. I'm here in Salt Lake City too much, but I haven't been here in 6 months to this place, and they recognize you walking in the door. You gotta love stuff like that. Same with you at Bootleggers. You just gotta love it. I'm sure Lee's got a place, and Mike's got a place. Everybody here, they walk in, it's like Norm.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what's interesting is, so I started doing F3 program. I went Tuesday morning and I went Thursday morning. So I'm just getting into it. And after they do their workout and they go to breakfast, they go every week. They pick a different spot on Monday. That's the same spot on Monday. There's a different spot for Tuesday, a different spot for Thursday, but it's the same places every week.
Mhm.
And we walked in and they're like, we know what you want, you want, and you want. And she goes, you're new. And I was like, bring me a coffee. We'll start with that. But it was nice because they're there so much that they know them.
I had
Oh,
a
you got-
place that I did have like that. It was called Mama Mia's, and it was near here. And the lady who owned it lived in the neighborhood here where I live, and but she had to go out of business, and so I don't have a place like that anymore.
We've been
I got to
down
show you
here-
this.
been down
Sugarhouse
here
just
since-
did this.
Nice.
nice.
Yeah. And it's just
Oh,
thanking
cool.
us for being here, doing our live, and
You
and
can't go wrong
checking
with
out.
that, Mike.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
awesome.
You
Yeah.
can't go wrong with that.
Oh yeah, thank you, Sugarhouse, for doing that. It's
Yep.
they just and it's a no BS atmosphere here. I mean, yeah, we're having a good time, but the food was real. The food was fantastic,
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
and to me, it was almost a shame to have to try the sauces because the food stands on its own.
Yeah.
There's
That's
one,
Don't get me
other-
wrong; it's good with the sauce. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
there's one barbecue spot that I go to, and everything's good without sauce. But they have 6 sauces, so you want to try them all,
correct.
even though you've
gotta
already
try
had
'em.
them.
Yeah,
And a couple weeks ago, I was in there, and they are selling their sauces now. So they had them bottled.
hmm
So I picked a couple up and brought them home.
I'll tell you what. I would get a bottle of this. Their vinegar base. That's good stuff.
Yeah,
If they sold it.
That's that North Carolina style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
and
is
that's
my
very
favorite
keto
pork.
right there. Very
Yes.
keto.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. But
Yeah.
in my opinion, pork and vinegar-based rubbing, dipping, whatever you want to call it, barbecue sauce,
Say hi.
are the bomb. Hey, hello,
Cub.
hello.
What is it?
Coffee.
Well, I see it's coffee, but
Just
It's
Now,
one
when
of
I
those
was in here
coffee
the other
drinks.
day,
just
I had their
try it.
pulled pork, and I put that on there.
Right,
And those
no,
old
I
boys
told
in
you.
eastern North Carolina,
It's not
they're all
crazy.
about pulled pork.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
their thing, and they take that vinegar base, and it's what I love about North Carolina is split in half, right?
Yep.
You got the eastern side, which is vinegar with a little bit of tomato in
Hot
it.
pepper.
You don't even have to put tomato in there, hot pepper, etc. And the other side is
Mustard.
tomato.
Mhm.
Oh, that's I think that's yeah, they do love their mustard. Let's
They
find
love
that
the
out.
mustard sauce. Yeah.
But they're also the tomato vinegar based. I'm gonna
yes,
ask
I
these
make
folks
one
for
that's
another
called
beer.
I make one that's called a Piedmont sauce, and it's
There you go.
vinegar. It's vinegar, ketchup, a little bit of sweetener, and red pepper flakes.
I've had
Ooh.
that. I've had that.
I'd like that
People-
recipe, Lee, please.
Yeah, I got a video on it.
Okay,
I
I'll go
got-
check it out.
When I go to
Grumpus, come up.
steak place, when I go
Yeah,
to a
please.
steak place,
Mike,
And
hold
they'll
on a minute.
say-
Not to cut you off a minute, Mike. Hold on a minute.
all right.
Grumpus, please report to the office. Mr. Grumpus, please report to the office.
When I go to a steak place, and they'll say, "What kind of sauce would you like with your steak?" I said, "Well, that depends on how good the steak is."
There you go. Exactly.
And I said, "If you cook it right and it's a good steak, I don't need any sauce.
Little salt, little pepper.
That's
Golden.
it. I'm good."
I'll even
tell
take like a
everybody
butter garlic thing on it too.
Oh yeah,
I'll be like,
yeah, oh yeah.
I tell everybody this story, okay? And Marie was living proof because she was the waitress, okay? So on a busy Friday night like tonight, okay, this clown decides that he don't know how he like his prime rib. Now we cooked our prime rib to rare, okay?
Well,
And when we-
that's the best way to do it.
and then
I
when we
thought that's how
served-
you did it.
yeah,
Yeah.
we did bone on and we did the king and the queen cut, bone on, and in between no bone, king and queen cut. Okay. She comes back in on a busy Friday night. I would get really mad, okay, that stuff was coming back. Okay. So something's wrong. Somebody did something wrong. This is not good. Okay. I can't afford to have this happening in the middle of service. Anyway, back it comes. She said, the guy said,
Thank you.
The guy
Chuck,
said,
say hi to everybody.
hello.
They're saying hi.
Welcome to YouTube Live. Anyway, I took the prime rib and I flipped it. Okay. Did nothing to it. Just flipped it, put it under the light a little bit, and bang, out it went again. Come back
It's
in.
amazing. Perfect.
No. Come back in. Too well done. Too well done. Okay. I took it, flipped it back over again, put a little au jus to heat it up, send it back out. The guy sent me back a scotch. So it was the best primer he ever had. It was the same thing. Okay. People don't really realize how to read or what they're eating. So
Yeah.
I used to work with a lady. God bless her. I love her. She's a great person. Give you the shirt off her back. And we'd go to a place and she would order a steak and she'd say, I want it well done. I don't want to see any pink. I don't want any blood. And I'm like,
It's not blood.
exactly.
Yeah. But she said, they'd bring it out and she'd say, I see blood. And she'd send it back. They'd bring it back out. I see blood. She'd send it back. And they'd bring it out the third time. And she said, now it's dry.
Don't squat. They didn't do shit to it.
I said, Robin, you done cooked this thing to where they ain't even close to a moo left in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And she goes, well, what do you mean? And I said, you've got them where it's shoe leather because of the way you had them cook it.
Yeah.
Well, Denton has her husband. He can do it. I said, then you need to eat Denton steak and not eat one out.
It's amazing. People crack me up. But I am totally there with you. If I go to a steak joint and if I have to put,
there you
we
go.
Oh yeah,
nice.
So one's a tomato base and one's the Piedmont sauce.
Okay.
Okay. I like a good mustard sauce too. Now, don't
I
get me
made them
wrong.
both keto.
Absolutely.
Hey, a little bit of sweetener in there ain't bothering nobody.
And if I'm having chicken, Alabama white sauce, I'm here to tell you, you can't beat it.
I agree with you there. Alabama white sauce. Look at that. I mean, that's like, what the hell?
One thing though,
what was that?
Wow. So
Wow.
I made Alabama white sauce with Duke's mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Somebody else tried to recreate it with a generic mayonnaise.
It won't work.
And was mad at me because they couldn't recreate it.
Duke, no,
It didn't taste like yours. I was like, because I use Duke's.
Yeah.
See, we don't get Dukes here.
Yeah.
I make my own.
We get Helson, but
I make my own. This way I can modify it any which way. If I'm making like cocktail sauce or whatever like that.
it's not that difficult either, is it? I've seen people do it.
1 egg, a cup of avocado oil I use, tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and a quarter teaspoon of salt. Don't use a teaspoon.
No.
Okay. Like that with blood pressure.
Or you'll be making more.
Yeah, exactly.
You give my wife the salt shaker, she'll add her own salt to it.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Mike G, barbecue Mike G said, yeah.
Marie's getting ready to eat.
Yeah.
Come on back.
Oh, yeah.
Lee, I gotta tell you. I said, Mike's getting a little heavy-handed with that salt, and you went, Mike, what the hell you got, a backhoe?
What did she tell me though?
Every time that he's like, I gotta add salt, he pulls out that great big jug. It's like a 3-gallon bucket of salt. And he's like,
You forgot the sound effect.
yeah, exactly.
See, when I cook, I don't
live with
put
the
salt
salt
in.
queen. I'll tell you, she
I get flashbacks of when I used to live in Ohio and we'd have to go out and salt the sidewalks.
Unbelievable.
Then you wonder why part of your grass was dead around the sidewalk. You're like,
So next Wednesday, Mike's going to moderate. Me and Lee are going to cook on Wednesday.
I'll be there to stop by and
is that
say
the
hi.
one Mud is Mud coming up on that one?
I have to get a hold of her, her or Chef. I gotta find out which
Okay.
one. But if not, the three of us will continue or
Yeah.
anything but turkey.
Anything but turkey. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna get the link out tomorrow.
I'm still Grumpus, report to the office. We got to get him up on Friday, and we got to get him cooking. Brian,
Barbecue.
you ain't getting away with it either, Brian.
Yeah, you gotta come in here and
You're
see.
Italian. You got to get your butt up there on that flat top. Right?
Brian's
Yes,
got
sir.
some good grub. So
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
looking forward to seeing him.
Awesome.
Seeing his cooking.
Yeah. Barbecue Mike G says I serve two things, some or none. Take your pick.
I like it.
Thank you.
I like it. And the thing is, folks, I was talking to somebody yesterday about going live, and they were they overcomplicated it, right? It's not hard to do it. You could pull the whole thing off with one camera, but
Yeah.
2 cameras are good.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I got my laptop, which you guys all saw me,
Mm-hmm.
and I use this as my second. Now,
Mhm.
how did I get it onto StreamYard, this one? Because I can't use the same account, so I sent it to a different email. I sent the same link that I'm using here, that Lee's using, Tom and Mike's using, to my other email address,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there I clicked on it, and so then you saw El Duderino, and the other one is The Dude. That's how I did it. And then I just here's
Mike?
my setup. Did I go away?
No, you're good.
Oh,
No,
you're
you're good.
Okay. Here's my setup.
Yeah.
That's it. And you can totally jerry rig it. My phone went right there. And
Yeah.
that's how the whole thing worked.
And
Yeah.
you didn't,
It,
and it didn't end up in the jambalaya.
It did not, and
And-
that's a good thing.
Yep.
All right, hold on.
So it's not hard, guys, and we're always here to help you.
And this guy
Try
right
to
here
figure it
is
out,
who's
always.
the mastermind behind it.
That's the king right there.
Guilty as
OG.
charged.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And I'll
sir.
tell you what, if you're not having problems, you ain't doing it right.
Oh, thank God you said that. I couldn't get my mic and headphones to work for 20 minutes this afternoon.
Well,
Or-
when I was going to do my first live, the live cook, I said,
I said that too.
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
worried about the cook
You
itself.
choked
I'm not worried about the cooking part. Oh, excuse me. I'm not worried about the cooking part. If
Like
you
you
know,
need
if I
scotch.
screw up, I can. Yeah, if I screw that up, I can fix that. My
Yeah.
part is the technical. If I go screw that up,
Well, I am
Yeah.
not.
We
a
all
technical-
do.
I am not a technical guy at all. I still can't save to a flash drive. Like, that's how bad it is. So I found one way that works, and that's the way I do it all the time.
yeah,
And it's very similar to the way that I just showed, right, Lee?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it ain't broke, don't fix
Because
it.
I set it up on StreamYard for my live. So the laptop is my main hub. I send the link to my email and I open it up on my phone. I
Mhm.
run a second camera as the what do they call that? Webcam.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
And
It's your B camera, B-roll.
I'll either set that up over the cooktop or back away, depending on what view I'm looking for, what angle. And then I set my phone up the other way, and I have to take the phone volume all the way down as far as it'll go.
Yeah, I did.
That's what I
had
had
to
to do with
that.
this one, yeah.
It won't
I
go
had to
all the
do
way
that.
out because you're on a call.
Right.
And
Right.
then on
Thank you.
StreamYard, once you have your two screens up, you can mute the one screen,
Correct.
the one for the phone. Because if you mute the one on the laptop, then you don't have the conversation here.
Correct. And that's what Tom did, is Tom muted my B-roll, the one you saw from above. He muted that, and the volume of the speaker is completely down all the way to zero, as close to zero as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
That way you don't get that echo as well.
Yep.
But Tom muted it, so it just becomes a B-roll camera,
Right.
is all it
Yeah.
is.
And then
And
if you get into the Bluetooth stuff, if you're using, I find that maybe it's just me, but if I'm trying to use a Bluetooth device speaker, earbuds, whatever, along with this in the Wi-Fi, there's just too much, call it static in the air, that they'll start conflicting.
That's
Yeah.
that's what I did wrong, Keto Mike. That's what we did wrong with
See, these are Bluetooth connected to my laptop,
yeah.
but that's
Right.
it. Nothing else
But
is.
if you're doing Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth and this over here's got some other internet, like
Plus,
too many Bluetooth things
yeah.
and too many Wi-Fis, to me, what I noticed was you get that jumbled up because it's all coming from one hub.
Plus a delay, and the delay would be seconds. So it sounds like you're in a tunnel.
And then it's like you're in a reverb because you're hearing from the laptop right now, and then Chinese movie.
I'll be right back.
Going to get
Yeah,
you.
Lee.
I'll
Amazing.
be right
So
back.
then that comes up, a second behind.
Yeah.
Correct. So for me, the laptop is on Wi-Fi. This is on my just Verizon network.
Yeah.
So I avoid that popping as best I can. But the only Bluetooth is this right here, and I'd love to get rid of this and go to a microphone, but
Well, I'm
which
looking
I have.
at.
But
So when I do my videos, like cooking videos, I'll use the Bluetooth headset on my phone. No problem. The lives is where it kind of gives me trouble because we're too close. Where I'm in the garage, I'm too close for the laptop and the phone.
Right.
Okay.
So you don't get that crisper sound. So what I'm looking at is like when we start doing outside cooks again, and there's more distance in between, then I think the Bluetooth headset would be great.
Gotcha.
Because then I can wear one, the other person can wear one, and you pick up both conversations through the little earbud.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because I got some generic AirPods. They're not AirPods. They're made by like the Pear Company or something, or Banana Boat or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not Apple, but they do that where you pop it in, and it's got the mic on both buds.
Yeah. We got Rob in the house.
So if I'm wearing one, then somebody else can wear one, and it should, in my mind, work.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't see why not. And that's what you and Rusty do. It works great.
We haven't done that yet.
Okay. Right.
That's an experiment coming up. We tried messing with it the other day, of course, 10 minutes before the show goes on. And I was like, no, let's just forget it. Well, I'll work on it later.
Yeah. So another person we need to get on here cooking is Rob.
Yes.
From Hell Yeah Barbecue. Hell Yeah Kimball's. That guy's got some good grub, man. And he's a Newsbreak genius.
I haven't done anything with Newsbreak. I got on it. I got on the train and I posted one thing and it got 17 views. I did something else and it got like 1,500.
Wait, when did you get accepted to it?
Shortly after you sent me the stuff for it.
I didn't send it, did I?
I think you did. Somebody did.
Because they won't even write me back.
I mean, I'm not getting paid or nothing. I'm just posting to be dumb. I haven't posted in months, so.
Well, Rob, you need to fire up that YouTube studio when you're ready. Come cook with us. Love to have you on, whether it be Wednesday or Friday or.
Brother, that studio is a work in progress.
Yeah, it looks awesome from what I've seen.
Yep.
I'm going to step out for a second. Yeah. I can hear you.
I were working on. I was looking at adding more lights. I don't know. How does the lighting come across when we're doing our live Sundays? You guys watch the
I can say good. I can say good. I mean, it's not. It could be a little brighter, but it ain't bad.
We got to get you set up with some mics.
So when we were talking about what I've been trying here, because we're too close, that's where I'm having the issue.
Okay, but I'm gonna hold on a minute. I gotta do
You
something.
sent me a wireless ones I'm going to try, but I hadn't got them yet. I think I need like one of those boom things. Yep. You sent me those.
Okay, that goes into your laptop.
Okay.
Okay, there's 2 of them, good for 65 feet. That's what I use right now that I'm using. Okay, there is a way to manipulate it to get the volume right, get that bassy tone. Because I watched the video that I used these the other night with that way. All right, or you can. There's another brand out there that'll fit into your phone.
That's the one I looked at, was to fit in the phone.
Okay, I don't know what kind of, if you have an A, B, or C connector, you know, like a UBS connector on there. But all right, look into a webcam. They're $19, 19 or $20, 720. Everything, you know, I'm looking into a little bit 1080p one right now. Okay, but if you look into these other ones right now, Lee, the mics on them are not bad. Let me see what you got there. Because sometimes if you move around back and forth, whatever, I lose your. Oh, what? Whoa.
Looks like a Sony.
That's what you shoot with, right?
Yeah, this is what I use as my webcam.
All right, now there is a shorter one if you're using that up close, and if you have enough. How far apart is that from you to where you're cooking?
It depends. Sometimes I have it angled down, and sometimes I'm like way back here. Depends on the angle I'm going for this camera.
Okay, so now that right there has the plug-in, okay, on the back. This would fit it. Okay, but the only problem with them webcams is that they have to be battery operated. It has to be self-powered.
Yeah, this has got a battery, but I'll leave it plugged in.
No. The microphone itself. If you add an add-on, it has got, for that I had the same camera. It actually
this right here has a spot for a light or a mic. It came with a mic, but it has to plug in from the mic to a power source, and from here, where the mic's up here, to the headphone jack on the laptop for me to use that.
No, say no more. Here's the thing for your live. Okay, I got a shotgun mic that I can't use no more because I don't have that camera. Okay, it's battery operated. It's got the shotgun on the top. Fits on that camera. You plug it into the back and you record, and it should come across like a regular mic.
Yeah, this one has where I can plug it in to. I can plug it into here,
right,
from the shotgun mic, and it works here. But for it to be on the laptop for the stream, it has to go from the mic to the headphone jack. So what we done last season when we were outside doing the Dutch ovens, I had it hooked up to a Bluetooth connector. So it plugged into that, and I was able to Bluetooth it. And I had a different battery box that I plugged it into and had it sitting beside us. And supposedly that worked out decent.
So the connection, your connection to the laptop, okay, should be another connection, and everything should work directly from your mic to your camera and then to your laptop. Okay.
That's Rob's studio so far.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Wow. Rob, amazing. Oh my goodness. Mrs. Perfectly and Perfect Keto. Love her shows.
There's my friend.
That's Donna.
There's my friend. Yeah. Sana, how you been? I hope everything's all right. Lee, I'll get a hold of you over the weekend. Okay. And I'll show you, I'll hit you up on StreamYard and I'll show you exactly what I got. Okay. And if this thing can work for me, I'll send it out to you. I don't want nothing for it to use it. It's not doing me any good.
Let me see. I got the mic I got over here.
And you also, what kind of batteries do you use for that? Because I probably got 4 or 5 batteries that you could be using for that. I have no use for them. Oh baby, I think I got them.
Whatever came with it.
Yeah, I think I might have maybe 3 or 4 of them for you.
But like last week or Wednesday, it had the battery plugged in and it kept shutting off. And I take the battery out after the show and it started working. It worked fine.
Weird.
Today I was on a StreamYard just messing around. Like I have one set to record so I can play around with stuff.
Okay.
And it started dropping out without the battery. So I went and got the second battery, plugged it in, and I don't know. It worked for a while. I haven't tried it. So I don't know if the cable's going bad or the whole thing is.
I'll try to get a hold of you Sunday, okay? And then I'll show you exactly what I got, and we'll see if they're going to match up, whatever. I'm not going to throw them away, but I have no use for them anymore. So
right. Let me walk over here and grab the mic.
Sure.
Hey, Grumpus, this place I gotta shut down at 8 o'clock. So maybe Tom or Mike will go live and we'll have an after party.
Yep.
And as soon as I get back to the hotel, I'll plug in and come visit. So if that works best.
Mike's old. Mike's going to bed.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna go to the hotel and okay.
Yeah,
this time I'm gonna visit because nobody came to visit me here. Love Kirk, but it was a distraction.
Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness, rolling smoke, barbecue and cooking. Welcome. Yeah, so I'll close down here. Thank these guys at 8 o'clock my time. So about 25 minutes from now. And then hop in and go to the hotel and then I will hook up over there.
I'm not getting out, but I'm going to set up another one. If I lose you, you know where I'm at.
Well, then you can just start there.
So this.
Let me see, Lee. Let me see what you got, Lee.
This was
Mike, you got time, right?
This was the setup.
Mike.
Mike Keto. I mean, Mike
The
the dude.
That's similar to what I used to have. Yeah.
Yep.
So it was a little longer, Mike.
It was a gift, and they got it off Amazon.
Is that batteries in there?
Yep. So there's a battery here. Now this shotgun mic or this mic here, I have to plug it in to here for both power and battery. So you can't see that, but
okay.
Plug it in for battery and for mic.
Okay.
The mic will work in here, but for me to do it on what I noticed on StreamYard, for me to do it there, I have to unplug it and go from here to the laptop.
Okay. This one that I have is batteries are in the shotgun mic. Okay. Plugs into the mic setup on there, and then you can go from that plug to your computer.
Do you have 9-volt batteries?
Yeah,
mine are 9-volt. Yeah.
Yeah. So
this comes off, and that's all it is.
Okay. Now, is that a battery right there? No, that's not a battery hooked up on.
No, it's just a fixture, and it wrote. Well, I think it does. I'll probably break it, but there's the plug for the power.
Yeah.
The plug right here is the 3.5 that goes to the headset.
Okay. So this one that I have, you have to put batteries in it, turn it on, the green light will come on, okay? And you would plug that into your port to go to the camera. So as you're recording, the mic was hot.
Yeah.
All right. And then you would have to go from that one port into your computer to do lives. But the mic would be a separate powered mic. You would need power from the camera.
Is I had a little 12-volt like deer feeder battery, and I ran it to a USB, which USB cord plugs into this thing. This is a Bluetooth receiver,
right?
3.5 millimeter jack goes in there. So I plugged that in to the mic, and then I had the power to the receiver and to the mic plugged into that battery.
Gotcha.
Okay. So then I had this set up away from us, and supposedly it picked up decently
Right.
from what the people said on the chat. And then we had our camera way over here.
So you had it all
So-
separate.
So then it was separated,
Right.
and supposedly it said that worked, but I don't know how well it worked.
For $19, I would look into these other mics. Okay, either plug into your phone or into that camera there, or just into your computer. Shut everything else back down. Plug the mic, the wireless, into your laptop. Okay, and you go. You're good to go.
Plug that one into the laptop.
Or the wireless ones.
Oh, the little ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other idea I was telling dude was when I do my cook videos, or my vlogs, I wear those earbuds that have the little mic in the bottom.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're kind of like AirPods, but they're made by like the Orange Company or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Tangerine.
Mhm.
They're the knockoffs.
Yeah, that's what I would get too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I can
Well,
wear
but the
those
box-
and try it either side, and I can record using either side.
Mm-hmm.
So the thought process we started last 2 weeks ago was if I use that as my mics, then I could wear one, say Rusty or Cub, could wear the other one, and then you would get us here. The problem was because you can see where we're talking, you get the lag coming in.
Yeah.
So then it looks funny.
The delay. Exactly.
So there was that delay, and it was enough delay that when the person ran the laptop, they had to have earbuds in then too,
Mm-hmm.
or else it was really confusing. So it was just,
Hey, Lee, isn't Rusty a tech guy for some grocery store chain?
yeah.
He can't figure it out.
Hey, Chihuahua.
That guy.
Because hey, we got two. Mike's a tech guy for a grocery store chain, and now the Rusty is too.
And here you got an old fat chef that's hooking
and,
up
and
everything.
a dumb redneck.
Hey,
Hey, here,
That's me.
I'm trying.
That's
I'm
me.
trying, all
That's
right?
me. No, I'm the dumb redneck.
yeah, far from it.
I'm not
Well,
sure
I'm
what
trying.
I am. I'm just some dumb fuck.
Yeah,
Sorry.
damn it, Mike, I'm
fart.
trying. I'm not a doctor.
I'm
it,
not
Jim.
doctor one.
I'm a
doctor.
barbecuer, not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor, but I cook for one. Yeah.
Well, Mike or Tom, you want to start your show, the after show, and we will. I'll
I
catch you
got
there in
to-
a bit.
I got
I'm
to get out. I got to go to bed. I'm fading here fast. I've been up since way early this morning.
I'll
thanks
get a
for
hold of you
stopping by,
guys Sunday later on after Lee's done. And
Tom, I'll see you here in about a half hour.
okay,
Everybody,
gonna-
thank you very much for stopping by and putting up with us.
Y'all
As
have a great
my
week.
brother Lee would say.
Y'all
Make
take
sure to
care,
check out
dude.
Lee, 9 a.m. Sunday Eastern,
Yep.
6 a.m. Pacific.
You can catch the replay. It'll be up.
I have to.
Yeah, it's nothing quite like the live, but
I
yeah,
have
I
to.
catch the replay
Yeah.
also.
'Cause by the time I get done playing on Saturday night, and I try to get up in the morning, I can actually stand up and scratch my ankles. That's how my arms feel after playing all night.
By the way,
don't
Lee,
worry.
what are you making this weekend? What are you making Sunday?
The wife she had this Monte Cristo sandwich.
Oh, Monte
Oh,
Cristo,
yeah.
yeah.
And so I looked it up, and I've never had this version of it. So I opened my big mouth and said, "Oh yeah, if you want that, I'll make that. Okay, no big deal." And then I'm like, started looking at it, and I was like, "Oh crap, how am I going to make that keto-ish, like something I'm going to want to eat?" So,
On a truffle.
Make it with biscuits.
well, so Tom, I got to talk about biscuits.
Oh Lord.
Biscuits and poppers.
So this guy in this F3 group that I just joined was talking about his new adventure. They got in a Dutch oven, like an enamel Dutch oven,
Mm-hmm.
and they got a book and they've been cooking all kinds of stuff. So he's learning. And one of the things he's learning this week was a chicken pot pie.
Ooh, that sounds
And
good, actually.
I was like, Cub's been on me for a chicken pot pie for a while. Okay. Well, then it turns out Steve from Serious Keto put out a chicken pot pie.
Oh
I think
man.
it was him or what? Flav City did one too. And I was like, all right, guys, what the heck? So the Flav City did a keto biscuit. And I was like, okay, I can do that. But it's almond flour based. So I said, well, if I make enough filling for 2 pies, or I cut it in half, then I can do a keto version and a regular version. Anyway, long story short, I got a can of biscuits.
There you go. I mean, just
Long story short.
yeah.
So I'm going to try to make a chicken pot pie, keto, and one not. So the biscuits.
Here's my theory. Here's my theory. Okay, for the amount of trouble that you're going to go through and the expense to make something that it's not, okay, is going to hurt you 2 ways: one in your pocketbook and one in your health. Okay,
Yeah.
So I would do the original way of doing it one time, knowing exactly what you're doing. Okay, it's not keto. There is no keto biscuits. I dare anybody to show me keto biscuits. They're not. Biscuits are made one way. Okay.
Yes. What this is an almond flour hockey puck.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
almond flour. Too many almonds are no good for you. They're actually toxic.
So
So I would
I've heard that.
I
So
would
we
deal
had
with the
did
regular
those-
flour than anything else.
We had made the cheddar bay biscuits, the keto version.
Yeah.
And they were okay. So, but this guy used ghee instead of butter.
Yeah. Make it. I mean,
Which I think that'll be better than what I had.
well, ghee is butter, just without a little. You're
Just been
getting away from
clarified.
some of the fat. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah. You
But
cleaned the
sometimes
milk. You gotten the
butter
milk
fat.
solids out of it.
What if
Yeah.
you use? What's the difference in carbs when it comes to whole wheat flour versus the bleach flour?
It's worse.
Yeah.
Oh, whole wheat's worse. Okay.
Yeah, it's worse. It's worse. So what you want, basically, you want the finer mix 00, like they would make in Italian restaurants for pizza pie dough or regular bread dough. Your risk of, like me for sure. Okay, if I ate 3 slices of pizza, would jack my sugar up overall. But if you're not type 2 diabetic and you just watch counting carbs, you can get away with 2 slices of regular floured pizza rather than putting almond flour into your system, not knowing what it's going to do to your microbiome, what it's going to do to your gut and to your immune system.
Okay.
That's where everybody goes wrong. They think, well, almond flour, it's good. Doctor tells you to eat almonds. Doctor tells you to eat a handful of almonds.
A handful, yeah.
Is
Not
20,
the whole
is 20
thing.
just
Like
about 20
10.
almonds. Anything over that is toxic. So you're playing with death. So if you're gonna have biscuits, you're gonna make the friggin' biscuits. Get over it.
I got them. I'm going to try this other thing and just try to redeem myself from the month-long thrashing that I took from the wife.
Yeah.
I am working on a biscuit using protein powder. It's not where I want it to be yet before we put it out there. It's okay, but it isn't great.
Use some rice cauliflower and there's your filling. An egg.
No.
Sorry, I had to.
No.
I don't know about that one.
They had it's a protein powder. It's a whey-in casein protein powder, and I've had good luck. I made a hot dog bun with it,
Okay.
and it tasted decent.
Yeah.
It's not a hot dog bun, but it's a good substitute for one.
Yeah.
So now it tastes better when you cook it if you eat it right after you cook it, rather than waiting and letting it sit in the fridge and all. It doesn't taste as good the second go around.
Get yourself a small bag of 00 flour from Italy. Okay. It seems to have from the semolina and stuff. It definitely has a different taste to it, has a different texture to it. Make up your biscuits. Okay. However way you make them, you can put eggs and you put milk in it, and go from there. The only obstacle is the 2 or 3 cups of flour that you're making the dough from.
Yeah.
Okay. So each cup of flour has so many grams of carbs in it. So if you make that and you have 1 or 2 biscuits, you're not shooting yourself in the foot, okay? But you're having regular food that you can overcome later on down the week rather than having almond flour and not knowing the outcome that's going to come from it. There is no test, there is no studies saying that almond flour is any good for you. 1 cup of almond flour is close to 100 almonds that are crushed.
Whoa!
Mhm.
That's the difference.
My thing is, I
think the one that I've got mixes almond flour and coconut flour.
okay.
Even worse.
And what the Flav City guy did, he used tapioca starch as his thickener.
Even worse.
Yeah, where I mean, if I'm going to add a thickener, I'm going to use flaxseed.
There you go.
Oh, have y'all ever had Yorkshire pudding?
Yeah.
I'm working on one of them too, where I use
Get your professor code
arrowroot.
on there, you son of a gun, you.
My what now?
Get
my what?
your professor code on there, brother.
Yeah, I'm working on one for that using arrowroot flour.
Now, a little bit of arrowroot's not going to hurt you. Okay.
No.
If you get jicama, okay. Now it's better for you because it releases slower into your system. You get jicama and you really beat it up in a blender, okay, dehydrate a little bit, you can get away with using that, a little bit of it. But my point is, why go through all that aggravation to make a biscuit? That's freaking big and say, hey, it's keto. Okay. Make the regular biscuit. Let your family eat what they want. You know what's wrong with you. You know what you got to do. Have 1 or 2 biscuits. Call it a day. End of story.
And Lee, I'm sure using the canned biscuits, your ancestors will forgive you.
Yeah. I mean, I learned when I was right before brain surgery, I was like, I want to learn how to make biscuits from scratch. And
They're really not that hard to make.
Like drop biscuits? Oh, yeah.
I went through the 2-ingredient biscuit recipes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it'd be 3 a.m. and the kids are just getting ready to go to bed. And I'm like, come on, we're making biscuits. And I'm like, Dad, what? But yeah, I was at the point where I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know how to get there. So I would get all the stuff out, but I couldn't put the stuff together.
Okay.
So that's where the kids had to be there to help me. Dad, what are you doing? I'm like, I need to make biscuits, but I'm lost because I didn't have the mental thing to put the flour in, pour in the heavy whipping cream, and stir.
If you've got a good mixer, making biscuits is simple.
Here comes.
I had a fork.
Yeah.
Here comes the other side of this. Okay.
Oh, snap.
How long did it take us to get in the shape that we were in before we decided to go keto? 30, 40 years.
Oh, man.
For me, anyway.
Ain't gonna change overnight either.
That land was cultivated for years.
Okay. So now here's my theory. Okay. And I disagree with a lot of people. You got to stay. I eat pretty clean other than today. Okay. There is evidence out there that I had a cannoli. All right. I didn't have a gun, so I didn't leave anything. But the bottom line is, okay, for me to eat 1 biscuit or 1 piece of bread or whatever I'm doing is not going to take me and throw me under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll feel it the next day, this and that, just from that little bit. But in the same token, though, by me trying to alter things and the expense, bag of almond flour, $16 for a pound.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Versus $2 for a bag of flour. I get the difference in it. Okay. But to make it one time and say, I get over with it. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with it. That's the whole thing where I'm at. You know what I mean?
And I'm going to leave that as the last word.
Yep.
Go ahead, Lee.
Fortunately, I had bought this all the stuff.
I'm out of here.
Months ago, so I've got it all. I just got to use it.
Yeah.
So.
Good night, guys. Love yous.
All right.
Make sure to check out the after show and Lee on Sunday. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you later.
Have a great weekend.